Let's address the elephant in the room. The house exterior is very, very ugly. Property review. What's going on, y'all? Attorney Tom here. As you know, I am looking for my first ever investment real estate property. I flew down to Brownsville to check out Starbase, Texas, where Elon Musk is building his new proposed city, to see if there was any land or real estate worth investing in there. I looked at an old abandoned church that objectively had great lot value in a prime location in Houston, but ultimately the zoning restrictions made it a total gamble. And today I'm going to be looking at one of the most famous houses in Houston, which just popped up on the market. If you're a local Houstonian, you know this house by none other than the Darth Vader house. I mean, just look at this monstrosity. This house is located right on the corner of University and Buffalo Speedway in West University Place, another city inside of the city of Houston. This is a very nice neighborhood, but there are some downsides to living in a neighborhood or city such as West University or Southside Place, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But more importantly, this house, everybody knows this house. Everybody makes fun of this house. I don't even know what to say. This house is just infamous with the area. It's infamous with the city of Houston. And nobody I know knew the person who owns this house or owned this house. I guess still owns this house. And nobody I know has been inside of it. So these pictures are very, very interesting. This is the first glimpse that we've ever gotten into the inside of this home. And it is pretty eccentric. Which makes sense because literally the home is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. They really got look at this bedroom. There's like a loft. They really got a whole white and black thing going on. Lots of cool lighting. And maybe this is some people's style. I'm not hating on that too much, but let's get into the logistics of why this house is terrible. First, let's start with the location. As I said before, it's in the middle of West University Place, a very, very nice city, technically a city inside the city of Houston. It's a beautiful neighborhood, great neighborhood, but this house is literally on the corner section or intersection of the two busiest streets. This right here is University Boulevard. This right here is Buffalo Speedway. This is why everybody knows this house, because it's literally on the two busiest streets in the entire area. We can look at it from above if I can figure out how to use the map, which I can't. All right, so right here, University Boulevard, Buffalo Speedway, Darth Vader house. So even if you're in a really, really nice neighborhood, it's literally probably the worst location in the nicest neighborhood. Presumably, if you want to live in a nice neighborhood and you want to have a premium or pay a premium on a property like this one is commanding, you want to be in a side street where there is not that much traffic. Next, let's address the elephant in the room. The house exterior is very, very ugly. It's going to be very difficult to find a seller. And in fact, this house has already dropped $300,000 in price since it was listed on the market just 5 days ago. And I anticipate it will drop farther because the price they are commanding is ridiculous. And on that subject, let's talk about the price. But before I tell you what the price is, I want you to leave a comment down below guessing what it is. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They are asking $4.3 million for this house. Yes, you heard me right, $4.3 million. It is a 4-bedroom, 5-bath, 7,000 square foot house. And as you can see here, the city of Houston is going crazy. 40,000 views and 1,700 saves in just 5 days on Zillow. Now here's the problem with a $4.3 million home in Texas. Other than it being a $4.3 million purchase price, but let's just say you can swing the $4.3 million purchase price. What people don't realize about owning a home in Texas is that because our state does not have state income tax, the property taxes are very, very expensive. And on top of that, if you live in a city, within a city, such as West University Place or Southside Place, you have to pay additional property taxes on top of the government property taxes. So let me be clear. Your house in the city of Houston, you get charged property tax. Texas, city of Houston, kind of the same thing. Not really, but let's just say the government to make it easier. So you get the state government property tax. Then on top of that, you get your local government property tax. And when I mean local government, I literally mean your neighborhood, your city. So this house, if it were to sell at a $4.3 million purchase price, would pay about $60,000 a year in property taxes. So even if you paid off your house completely, you would need to pay $60,000 a year in property taxes just to own your house. And yeah, let's confirm that right here. So in 2020, the tax assessment was for $3 million and they paid $46,524 in property taxes. Now they're asking $4.3 million. So if it were to sell for $4.3 million, it would be assessed at $4.3 million. Therefore, the taxes would be in the $60,000, $62,000, $63,000 range. I'm terrible at math, but that's just my rough guesstimate. Further, last thing I want to talk about is your estimated monthly costs, which Zillow says would be $25,298, which means as somebody who's looking to invest in an investment property, this would not be a property in which I would live in. I would need to charge somebody at least that amount in rent in order to make my money back or keep it afloat. So 20% down on a $4.3 million property is around $1 million. So let's just say I could somehow come up with that money. It would be totally unrealistic to buy this house as an investment property. And I knew that from the very beginning. I actually just wanted to make this video for fun because this house is infamous in the city of Houston. And I thought it would be fun to share it with y'all non-Houstonians. Okay, so let's recap the Darth Vader house. Number one, the design of the house. It is very, very eccentric. It's going to take a unique buyer to purchase this house. I'm going to be surprised at what the final purchasing price of this house is. Like I said, it's already reduced $300,000 from the original asking price in just 5 days. I don't anticipate a lot of interest in this house because it is so unique. And ultimately that kind of makes it a bad investment because let's just say an investor or somebody looking for this property as an investment needs to sell it. Well, you might not be able to sell it. You're going to have to wait for the right person. And that's a big turnoff. 2, the location. You are on the intersection of the 2 busiest streets in a very nice neighborhood. But if you want to pay a premium to live in a nice neighborhood, you don't want to be on the 2 busiest streets. Number 3, the overall price, $4.3 million, seems definitely way overpriced, especially when it was assessed at $3 million. And even if it was assessed at $3 million, you're paying about $46,000 a year alone in just property tax. And at the $4.3 million asking price, you are looking to pay taxes in the $60,000 range annually. Even if you own the house outright, that is a huge overhead cost for owning an asset. And I just know that some of y'all have been holding your breath until the very end of this video to hear my final determination on whether I think this is a good investment opportunity and if I'm going to move forward with this. I hate to disappoint you, but the answer is no. This, I think, would be a terrible purchase for a whole number of reasons. And I knew that, but I thought this video was fun to make. But with that said, if you're interested in joining this community, I do have a couple of videos lined up that I'm going to make about real estate inquiries that are happening right now that I think could be more legitimate or more realistic assessments. But I'm gonna wait for those deals to play out before I make a YouTube video about them, as I always do. We talk about the law, finance, and kind of just whatever we want on this channel. We have a great community. Hit hit that like button. It really does me a huge favor. If you like this video, pushes out on the YouTube algorithm. Again, consider subscribing to this channel, check out my subreddit, and just thank you for watching. My goal is always to make content worthy of your time. Alright, y'all. Thanks again. Bye-bye.